starts now.
Warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight. I say we warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight. I say we warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight. I say we warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight.
Oh, baby, Johnny Ritchie, the fight I've been personally waiting for. Obviously, we all want to see the main event, but this is a main event on anybody's card. Lima, No Love Pule, and Sean O'Connell, the real OC, coming out here to do the heavyweight thing, man. I'm excited about this one.
Mike, I am excited too. You know, both these guys have stepped inside this cage once before. They went all 3 rounds. They spent a total of about 15 seconds on the mat. They banged it out, Mike. Sean O'Connell walked away with the victory. They're stepping back in here to take home the belt. I think we're going to see another war tonight, Mike.
I guarantee with the belt on the line, these guys are going to get it done. Heavyweight, no holds barred. Check it out.
Lima. All right, baby, here we go. This is the rematch. He's one up on you, man. I want to know, is Lima taking that belt home tomorrow? Talk a little bit about your fight.
You know, that's the main goal. Take that belt home. So, you know, we can give it a shot tomorrow and see what's up. You know what I mean? It was a war last time, and I don't expect nothing less. So, you know, I'm ready like spaghetti, Betty.
All right, Lima, tell me, how hard have you been working, man, to make sure that when you step in there, you beat Sean O'Connell?
I work hard, man. I work hard. That's all it is, you know what I mean? This is my profession. This is what I do. You know what I mean? I always do this, or whatever you want to call it. But you know what I mean? This is what we do. I'm a fighter.
I want to know, Sean, is it going to end the same way it ended last time? 3-round grueling war by decision?
Well, hopefully not. I didn't like that very much. I mean, barely squeaked one out over him last time. It was a war. I don't want another war. I want a quick little battle with me walking out with the belt. And, you know, I got a lot of respect for Lima. A lot of guys dropped out of this tournament. He was willing to get right back in it. And me and him are going to go at it tomorrow. It's going to be the most exciting fight of the night. I mean, I know we're not the main event or anything, but, I mean, people are going to remember this fight. People are really going to remember this fight, and I'm excited about it, and you all should be too.
All right, well, with that being said, I'm going to leave it alone at that. It's going to be a great matchup between Lima Pule, Sean O'Connell. Shake hands. Best of luck to both of you guys tomorrow night inside the cage.
As we said, this would be a main event on just about any fight card, and I guess the only thing that would keep you from being a main event is somebody else on the card's had over 100 fights and fought in the UFC.
Yeah, that's probably about it, Mike, but no matter what is said, no matter what these guys have done in the past, are stepping in here fresh. They're tough. They're looking good. Lima's excited to get in there and avenge that loss against.
Not to mention he's ready like spaghetti, Betty. And Sean, the real OC O'Connell, Johnny, man, the future this kid has in this game, man, he can take this thing as far as he wants to.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Mike. He's been working hard, training over there with Focus Fitness, getting himself ready so that when he steps in here, Mike, he doesn't have to go a 3-round war with Lima. He said he wanted a quick battle that was painless. I don't think that's going to be the case. So, Mike, anybody that's ever fought Lima, win or lose, you walk out of that thing feeling some pain.
There's no quick, easy victories over No Love Lima Pule. No doubt about it, but Lonnie Foster with a drop of the hand gets things started here and a touch of the gloves, and Lima Pule coming right off with some big shots to the head. You can see Sean O'Connell's tactic is to take this kid down, but ate some shots on his way in.
Yeah, he did, Mike, and that's going to be easier said than done. Lima has a great sprawl. His submissions not his submissions, but his stand-up game is awesome. You give Lima the chance, he's going to punch you from any position.
One thing that he has done in the past that I haven't liked is this. He likes to squeeze you, and he burns a lot of energy doing just that. Although he's such a good athlete and has such great balance, he's hard to take down. But you see right there, he's going to feed you a few body shots while you're trying to get that takedown as well.
Well, this is almost reminiscent of Sean O'Connell versus Jeff Moody. Jeff Moody was trying to take Sean O'Connell down the whole fight, and Sean O'Connell just, stood his ground and ended up finishing this thing and getting himself a victory.
There's the power of the former college football player right there. Sean O'Connell lifting Lima Pule up and dropping him down. But you see, Lima is never in trouble. I mean, you see right here where Sean's almost got his back, but Lima just elevates his hips a little bit, and guess what? He's on top.
Yeah, for a big guy, Lima sure knows how to scramble, Mike, and move and shake, and he does it right there. You know, Lima, or you saw Sean O'Connell throwing in a hook, and Lima just gets enough of the roll to get out of it and threw a couple of shots on his way up.
Right here, I'd like to see him do just that. Stand up and throw some knees rather than squeezing onto that head. But, you know, Lima always kind of seems to find other little things to do that, you know, he surprises you. Lima will always find something crazy to do in a fight.
Oh, that's for sure, Mike. We've seen this guy invent moves, I think, inside this cage. But, hey, that's just Lima for you. You never know what you're going to see when No Love steps in there. And Sean O'Connell, you can usually tell what he's going to do. He's going to come across the cage, he's going to throw big punches, and he's going to try to end this fight with a knockout.
You see that Lima right there kind of controlling Sean with that underhook and punching and looking for ankle picks and all kinds of things with his other hand. You know, he's just a fun guy to watch. As you mentioned, he invents things while he's out there. This is not stuff he drills in the cage back at the gym. He just kind of makes it up as he goes.
Makes it up as he goes along. You know, Sean O'Connell, Mike, is probably one of my favorite fighters in this tournament, but it's hard for me to cheer for him when he's going up against No Love because I love Lima. I love to watch Lima fight, and I love his personality. The kid's great for the sport.
I had a chance to chat with him just a little bit last night. There you see a little turn of fortune taking the takedown there is Lima Pule, but he mentioned to me last night what he did to prepare for this fight is he had a pirate copy of Beowulf, and he watched it over and over.
That's what he did, huh? That's his, well, hey, I'm not going to take anything away from him. If that's how you train, then that's how you do it. I'm not going to argue with you there.
You know, sometimes Lima, again, when he gets into this squeezing mode, the action kind of slows down just a little bit. Right here, you see, though, it's kind of a chess match, if you will, with Lima and Sean, just trying to buck for position, just trying to get that superior position, because once you do, then you can really turn things on. And I really appreciate the fact both these guys are taking a very tentative approach in what they're doing, not leaving themselves exposed.
Well, it's kind of funny to watch Lima because he's like
kick.
Yeah, he's what's that kick right there, but it's like a quarterback, you know, throwing off his back foot as he's falling down. Lima's going to punch it from any position. It's right there. He was off balance, but he just kept swinging away, and he was landing those shots against Sean O'Connell.
He's got inside tie right here and should be getting real busy with knees. Looks like Sean O'Connell might have just reversed the tie just a little bit, and both these guys, once again, maybe a little too tentative inside.
Well, yeah, and just as you say that, Lima breaks away and throws that big uppercut, and we've seen that thing land. But those kicks are killing me because they're so short and just right into the gut there.
Yeah, he's landed them, no doubt about it. One thing I think both these guys are very conscious of was last time was such a grueling battle that they're not going to expend any too much crazy, unnecessary energy. But, you know, Sean O'Connell really trying to get this takedown.
Yeah, Mike, and you're right. And that talk about expending energy, that'll do it when you got the 240 plus pounds of pure power on top of you like that. Getting that takedown isn't so easy.
Oh, Johnny Ritchie, yeah, right here. Lima Pule trying to lift Sean O'Connell up off the ground, and what is it, Johnny? Oh, that is the first time I've seen a pile driver in MMA.
That is like a power bomb. That's like a move you see in the WWE, but Lima Pule pulls it off. We talked about inventing moves. There you go.
Look how strong he is, though. Sean O'Connell's not a little guy, and he picked him up there. Look at him ragdoll him there, threw a couple big knees, and now throws him to the ground and hit him on the side of the head. Johnny, he has really turned things on here.
He has, Mike. He's thinking about that last loss. I guarantee it. Sean O'Connell's just on the ground covering up there, and he's got to do something. He's got to protect himself, or the ref's going to stop it.
Yeah, well, Lima's got to not hit the back of the head. That's illegal, and I see he's been warned. You know, Lonnie just kind of warned him right there, and he kind of stopped punching for a moment. Sean O'Connell was able to get up on top now.
Yeah, now Sean, reversal of fortune here. Now Sean is on top. Remember, we talked about it. He goes down on top of Lima. Lima scrambles and pulls him off. Wow.
He's really good at elevating his hips and jumping you off the top with 7 seconds here, John A. Ritchie. We're going to see a second round, and, you know, these guys are definitely delivering what they promised as an exciting fight.
Exciting fight, Mike. We saw the power bomb in the first round. We saw some big kicks, some nice solid punches. Man, both these guys are such warriors and such athletes.
First round, clearly on my scorecard, Lima Pule's. Round 2 was Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. If you're just joining us, round 2 of Lima Pule and Sean O'Connell coming up. Johnny Ritchie, this is a rematch between these two, and Lima Pule really seems to have gotten the number of Sean O'Connell in round number 1 there, especially toward the end of the round. He really came on strong.
Oh, he did, Mike. Turned up the juice, and threw some big shots, just like that. Wow, out-muscled Sean toward the end of that first round.
He's like a cat that always lands on his feet, Lima Pule. Anytime in a scramble, he always seems seems to wind up in the better position. He's just such a great athlete. And, you know, Sean O'Connell, a former college football player, he's a tremendous athlete himself. Lima Pule just, like, got cat-like reflexes.
Well, and I've asked him about that in the past, Mike, and he said, look, I'm used to having punches come from multiple directions, from multiple opponents in my life growing up, and so that's nothing. Fighting one guy's
Great
easy.
exchange here, Johnny Ritchie. Both these guys throwing some heavy leather. Looked like somebody's mouthpiece came out. Both those guys landing some big shots in that exchange.
They were, Mike. And once again, Lima Pule with that funny little front push
That thing
kick.
is ridiculous.
I love it, though. It's great. He's landing it. That's the thing. He's making it count.
He's looking for that big, heavy shot, though. Both these guys want to get this thing over with. They don't want to sit here and do 3 rounds like last time, but you kind of get the sense with both these guys throwing such leather, somebody's going down.
Well, I know some people at home are asking, well, why are these guys fighting again? What's with this? And I tell you, there were some people in our tournament that ducked out because they didn't want to face Lima or Sean. And I guess when that happens,
I blame them, Johnny.
Yeah, I don't either. But when that happened, Mike, Lima actually lost to Sean in the round. No one wanted to fight Sean or Lima, so boom, here you go, part
Lima
2.
was more than happy to step up to the challenge. Sean O'Connell, a little bit apprehensive about having to fight this guy again. He said, you know what, hey, I'm going to win the belt. I'm going to have to beat the best, and I beat him once, I'll beat him again.
Well, and he knows that that's what champions do. Oh, but he's landing some pretty big shots right there.
Several uppercuts by Sean O'Connell landing on the chin of Lima Pule. Lima just kind of taking him. Didn't even bother trying to block him at all. Just kind of taking him off the chin.
I want to find out where Lima learned that front push kick. Who taught him that thing?
He saw it on Beowulf.
You're probably right. That's probably exactly where he saw it.
A little low in the action. These guys are slowed down just a little bit. Johnny, these shots are landing big. You can hear the thuds each and every time Sean O'Connell throws one of those knees or Lima Pule throws one of those hooks or an uppercut by Sean O'Connell. They're landing with a tremendous amount of velocity. And these guys, you just see the tank wearing down on both of them.
Yeah, Mike, and I tell you what, with these two warriors, any shot could end the fight. You know, by both these guys, you see they trade those shots, and man, oh man, they both hit so damn hard, they ended it.
Like a scene out of a Rocky movie. These guys are just going at it, Johnny, and it's just a matter of who can last the longest, really, who's going to get to the finish line. Lima Pule and Sean O'Connell putting on a show for you folks in the heavyweight division, fighting for the belts, and man, we would have expected nothing less than this. They've really come out and given it their all tonight, Johnny.
Yeah, giving it their all. Lima's in a pretty weird position. Well, hey, I don't know. I don't think so. I think Lima's going to go to this thing. We've seen that guy's arm bent like a rainbow and he doesn't tap out. You're going to have to kill this kid if you want him to quit.
Well, his heart's bent like a rainbow right now. I mean, he's just out of gas. He has thrown all the punches he can. I think he might be done, Johnny.
Well, he's got some blood definitely coming from the nose there, and he's covering up. But Sean's landing those punches through, Mike, and I think you're right. With as much time as left on the clock, this thing could very well be over.
The rear naked choke's coming on right here, and, you know, Lima... He's fought as hard as he can.
That's it, Mike.
He's just done, Johnny. I saw in his eyes, and I know Lima very well. We talked a little bit earlier in the fight. Whoever ends up getting that position is going to win this thing. Sean got that position and finished the fight.
Yeah, finished the fight. Wow, the real OC Mike. He's 2-0 against Lima Pule, Mike, and I don't think he's ever going to want to have to fight him again. But he says, give me that belt. I need it. I deserved it. And he does, rightfully so.
Well, man, if there ever was a Purple Heart Award candidate, that's Lima Pule. That guy has fought through such tremendous battles, but there's your champion, Sean O'Connell. Beat him not once, he beat him twice. He deserves the belt.
Whatever the vision, we can assist. Celerity Investments. Log on to investwithcelerity.com for more information.
Sean O'Connell, I don't think we want to be doing that once a month now, do we?
No, sir.
I think the fans would love to see that once a month, but man, that's once in a lifetime you see fights like that. Sean O'Connell, man, all heart right there, brother.
Hey, you know what? Lima came out like a buzzsaw in that first round. I was thinking to myself, man, this might turn out a little different, but you got to dig down deep. I think I did that. My hat's off to Lima. He's a man. I'm great to be part of this.
Unquestionably, you did dig down deep, and that was the difference in this fight, man. Very gutty, very impressive, gritty performance. I just want to personally thank you for doing what you've done this round. Great job. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks, Mike. I got one more fight at heavyweight. I want Ty Lee, then I'm dropping down to see what I can do in the light heavyweight division. Thanks to all the fans. Oscar Lucero, thanks for helping me train. My sponsors, Lumpy's Downtown, private club for members. Hollywood Body Laser Hair Removal. All the fans, everyone that helped me. Thank you, Mike. I love this show.
You just successfully cleared out the light heavyweight division. Great job. Congratulations. Johnny just said he's got a man crush on old Sean O'Connell right there, and who could blame him?
It's kind of weird. My girlfriend's not too happy about it. But the real OC pulls out the victory and the belt, and I love me some Lima, but I'm pretty happy right now for Sean.
I got to tell you, I got more love for Lima than anybody, but I'm so happy to see Sean get the belt. He certainly earned it, man. It was a great job. Very, very impressive performance.
It was. That was probably, I'm thinking the fight of the night, but we haven't seen 2 fights left. So right there, those guys knockdown, drag out. That's what you can expect to see at the Ultimate Combat Experience, Mike.
Okay, man, we got more of the Ultimate Combat. Don't go anywhere. Got another one of the elite performance guys coming out here. Another fellow law enforcement officer. Travis T-Train Marks is a law enforcement officer, and he trains with Charlie Kent. Both these guys are just stacked out physical studs. Who's Charlie fighting tonight?
Well, Mike, he's fighting a guy that I personally, one of my favorites is Jamie Boogie Anton. Mike, the kid works hard. His stand-up is great. His submission is getting better. He's looking to stand up with Charlie and knock him out on his feet tonight, Mike.
And that's what they said at the weigh-ins last night. Both of them said, we're going to stand up and just knock the crap out of each other. Looking forward to it, brother. Lightweight, no holds barred. Check it out.
Once again, you're taking out Charlie Kent. I want to know, Boogie, what do you have to do to beat a guy like Charlie? What's going to happen?
Well, I got to walk into that cage with my head high and my hands are flying, and I'm going to have to bring hell to Charlie tomorrow, because I'll guarantee he's a tough boy, and it ain't going to be easy. I know we both train hard, and I'm ready to go in that cage and give her hell, so that's what's going to happen.
Well, Jamie said it well. It's going to be hell. It's going to be a good fight, and both of us are going to be throwing hands. I don't expect it to go to the ground very much, and it'll be a good time, I figure.
All right, may the best man win. Shake hands. The best luck to you guys tomorrow inside the cage.
Charlie Kent, a very accomplished wrestler, saying he's going to throw hands today. Johnny Ritchie, you think he's sandbagging a little bit, or you think he's really going to do it?
I think he's going to do it, Mike. I think Charlie Kent's one of these guys that's going to stick to what he says. He said, hey, man, my stand-up game is getting good. I think I can stand with Jamie and hang with him.
No, he's a tough kid. He's got an all-around game, but his definite strong strength is his wrestling. And obviously, Boogie's strength is his stand-up. He's been a stand-up martial artist for several years, but he looks like a vanilla gorilla, doesn't he?
Oh, my, he absolutely does. You know, we always ask people, hey, if you think you've got what it takes, give us a call. Some guys might call to fight Charlie just because he is a law enforcement officer, but if I tell you, watch what you wish for, because Charlie has just destroyed people inside this cage, Mike.
I think people that would fight Charlie Kent as a law enforcement officer have had one too many, and they deserve to be in the clink, because this kid can handle his own out there.
Absolutely. And Jamie Boogie Anton, Mike, you said it best. The kid's got awesome kicks. His hands are great. And if these guys stay up, Mike, we're all in for a treat tonight.
Boogie's going to have to go. I mean, he can't wait for Charlie. That's a mistake right there. Boogie let Charlie get inside and get underhooks on him, and, you know, you can't do that. Charlie's just too good at his clinch work. He's too good at takedowns that, you know, Boogie doing a good job of pummeling here. But, man, if you've got an opportunity where he's standing in front of you, let your hands go.
Yeah, Mike, well, we talked about sandbagging, and Charlie was going to stand up, but nope. Hey, if I even feel threatened, I'm going to get you on your back, and that's exactly what he does to Jamie Boogie Anton.
Well, that's what he does, and that's what he does well. That was a beautiful takedown and wound up in, you know, nice position here. Boogie does have guard on him, but, you know, you see Charlie kind of sitting back low in his guard and kind of working on position, and he's just so strong. You know, I really see Boogie having a hard time climbing up the body and putting some type of a submission on him.
Well, yeah, especially so early on in the fight, Mike. But I tell you, Boogie's submission is great. It's getting better, and the kid can submit. I mean, that's no question about it. He can lock on submissions and tap people out.
No, he is known for his stand-up, but his ground-up he's got a well-grounded game. Boogie, the best thing that he's got going for him is his conditioning. This kid can go all day long, but Charlie Kent is kind of the same way, so we can expect a very grueling match if somebody doesn't get something kind of crazy early on here.
Yeah, Mike, and I mean, they're kind of jockeying for position here on the ground, but hey, I'd like to see the refs stand them up, get these guys back to their feet. Let's see these guys slug it out.
Well, yeah, if they're not doing much on the ground, let's get them stood back up, no doubt about it. And looks like, you know, just too much jockeying on the ground. I agree with you. Maybe we should get them standing back up on their feet.
Well, Charlie Kent's looking to throw those short elbows. Those elite guys work on that. I think 90% of the time they're in the gym. They like to really throw those things and cut their opponent open and end the fight nice and early.
Well, you know, it seems to be something you certainly hear them yelling constantly.
Yeah, short elbow, short elbow.
Yeah, you know, and they do. They work very well on top on the ground. There's no doubt about it. They're almost precision-like with those elbows. And if you've seen Jeremy Horn fight, that you know where they've gotten it.
Like, I mean, what's Boogie to do from this position with that big, strong, muscly Kent? I mean, what is he going to do?
He's just looking for something to be left open. I mean, he's kind of trying to keep him nice and tight here, so he can't sit up and throw any big, devastating shots. But Boogie's just trying to wait for Charlie to leave something open for him to try to glom onto.
Well, just as you said, it looked like right there he was trying to maybe isolate that arm or something. But
looked at it, he was looking for it, and then Charlie stood up and he's really good at that. I've seen him do that in a couple of fights, and he puts a lot of velocity on those fights. Drops his entire body behind him.
Yeah, Mike. He's ended fights real early, doing that exact same thing, getting the takedown, then just stand up and dropping those punches.
Baby.
But
he had Mount there for a moment, but really kind of surprising. Left himself in an awkward position. Boogie was able to elevate, and a nice sweep and wound it up on top.
Well, now let's see what Jamie Boogie Anton can do from this position. Let's see if he's, if not as effective as Charlie or more, let's see if he's going to be looking for those short elbows and some big punches from this position.
Well, Charlie's so strong, man. He'll tie you up real easily. I mean, look at that. He's got those legs wrapped around. You're not going too far, and his arms too. I mean, Boogie's kind of hanging on in there.
Well, I was talking to some of the guys that train over with Charlie, and they go, "You don't even understand. I mean, we thought the Bird Dog was a powerful force. When Charlie Kent grabs a hold of you, you know he's going to do what he wants with you, and that's just how it goes."
Yeah, and he was one of those guys that were so vocally outspoken, against steroids. This kid's all natural. He's just a naturally strong kid, wrestled all his life, and he just has that natural strength.
Well, when I look at his physique, Mike, it reminds me a lot of myself. I see a lot of the same qualities, with the six-pack and the
the six-pack of beer? It reminds you got to stop at 7-Eleven.
I got to stop at 7-Eleven on the way home. That's exactly what it reminds me of.
That's all it reminds you of. Yeah, we kind of mentioned that Charlie Kent can just kind of glom onto you down here, and this is where I really do think we need to get these guys stood back up because, on his back, Charlie's not super aggressive, but he'll kind of he's got great defense from there.
Well, right there, you see a nice little forearm by old Jamie Boogie Anton. You give me one, I'm going to give you one right back, and that's exactly what he did. Kind of funny.
Yeah, little slow action going here. In these 5-minute rounds, we might mention, folks, that we're going for the championship belts. These are 5-minute rounds, and typically in the Ultimate Combat Experience, we go 3-minute rounds. So these guys are pacing themselves a little bit, and maybe just a little bit too much for the liking of referee Dave Selyeset, who steps in and gets them back up on their feet. But it didn't take too long before they were right back on the ground.
Back on the ground. Looked like Jamie Boogie Anton squared up to throw a kick, and Charlie caught it right in the middle of that thing, and they go to throws him on his back.
Let me see if I can remember what Charlie said. We're going to stay on our feet and fight tomorrow. We knew that was a sandbag.
Hey, what's going on here?
Looks like a potential reverse triangle here, but not enough time left on the clock, Johnny. And see Charlie throwing a couple knees to the head. Those are illegal, and I think Dave might have yelled at him a little bit about that. Going back to their respective corners, though, Charlie Kent, a very impressive first round, clearly winning that first round. He dominated both on top and on bottom, in my opinion.
Well, Mike, let's see what answers Jamie Boogie Anton is going to have for this second round. Is he going to come out and take advantage of that stand-up like you talked about, or is he going to wait till this happens?
Big uppercut just missing by the Vanilla Gorilla, and then the big takedown winding up on top now has Boogie Anton pressed up against the cage, and this is where he's been impressive in the fights that I've seen. Sits up and bomb. His ground and pound is unparalleled. Gets Boogie to give up his back, and this is what we expected to see from the Vanilla Gorilla.
Yeah, from the Vanilla Gorilla, Mike. It didn't happen in the first round, and maybe they changed things up a little bit in this corner. But Jamie Anton's in a little bit of trouble here, Mike, and if he can get this thing,
this fight might be over, my friend. That's it. Jamie Anton gave a valiant effort first round. He was very competitive in it, but Charlie Kent, he's going home with a very well-deserved belt. He was so dominant this round. He's the champ this round.
Yeah, Mike comes all the way through. He sweeps it. Undefeated is Charlie Kent inside of our cage. Wow, what a stallion. Congratulations, buddy.
Very impressive. The Vanilla Gorilla, one of the best fight names in the business.
Statewide bail bonds. If the devil made you do it, statewide bail bonds will get you through it.
He rolled me on my back, and I don't like being there, so thankfully I was able to hold on and called the Dave, and he said, stop it, put him up, so we went up.
I tell you what, we got something here for you. Charlie Kent, the girl's going to put this around the waist. You are a Round of Champions winner. Congratulations, brother.
Thanks. I'd like to thank Jeremy Horn, Elite Performance. Gym's open now. Come and train with us, become a champ. Other than that, Thanks, my wife.
There you go, right there. There's the bell. Congratulations. Hey, one more time, round of applause. Charlie the Vanilla Gorilla Kent.
That's what happens when you make a vanilla gorilla mad.
Man, Mike, that guy, he has some of the loudest punches inside this cage. When he gets on top and rains those things down, you hear him from the cheap seats.
No, he's never been in that rough position before.
Oh.
He got in it toward the end of the round, and boy, he got a minute to rest, and he came back and just was dominant.
Hey, that's Charlie Kent for you, Mike. That's why he's wearing that belt. So congratulations, Charlie.
Okay, we got more of the Ultimate Combat. Don't go anywhere. Your main event, the man, the myth, the legend, Jeremy Horn coming out here, Johnny Ritchie.
Big deal for us.
Big deal. The biggest name ever to be the inside of this cage. Who's he fighting?
Well, Mike, he's fighting the toughest up-and-coming fighter in the country in Court, the Crusher McGee. The guy's hungry, he's thirsty, and he's ready for a victory, Mike.
I'm ready for the war. It's your main event super bout. Check it out.
You've got a big mountain to climb tomorrow, Court, and I want to know, how did you prepare to climb that mountain?
Lots and lots of training. I quit my job and do this full time now. I have a good group of people around me, and I'm not doing it on my own anymore. So I feel confident to go 3 5-minute rounds with Jeremy Horn.
Well, there you go, Court. I know we talked about it earlier in the week when we were doing media and stuff. You said that you absolutely respect Jeremy Horn, and how often is it that you get to fight a guy that you looked up to and a guy that was your idol? And you don't get the chance, if you're a basketball fan, you don't get the chance to shoot hoops with Michael Jordan that often. And I want to know how this thing's gonna go, man.
I don't predict. I just know that I'm ready to go 3 grueling rounds. So I fully intend on pushing it to the limit.
Okay, right there. Here we go. Jeremy, never been in this position before. I'm kind of excited about it. But you're stepping in here to fight Court McGee, and a lot of people have said, why is Jeremy taking this fight? He's stepping in there, he's fighting a guy like Court. And people, I think, underestimate Court, but I know you have, and I know you've trained for this like it was any other fight. Talk a little bit about your training and how you think it's going to go tomorrow night inside that cage.
For the last 10 years of my life, I get paid to hurt people. That's what I do for a living, so that's what I train to do every single day.
Just like that. So Jeremy, Court had no predictions. I'm not asking a prediction, but just tell me, what's going to happen when you get inside that cage? How's it going to end?
For the last 10 years of my life, I get paid to hurt people.
And at that, I'm going to leave it at that for your main event, guys. Probably once in a lifetime thing. You got Court the Crusher McGee versus Jeremy Horn, and your main event. Shake hands. Best of luck to both these guys tomorrow night inside the cage.
What I'm curious of, Johnny Ritchie, is what has Jeremy been doing for the last 10 years of his life?
Well, Mike, that's hurting people, or training to hurt people, or training others to hurt people. That's what he's been doing.
We've been in training. He's hurting people. Court Crusher McGee, though, he's been hurting a few people himself. He's had a very good run of himself lately, both in MMA and doing some submission grappling, beating some of the top grapplers in the world. So he is certainly no stranger to fighting upper echelon competition or competing with those type of people. But man, this is upper echelon as it gets.
As it gets, Mike. And you talked about some of the people that Court McGee has beaten. He's actually beaten every single one of Jeremy Horn's elite fighters that has come from that camp in Court's weight class. So this may be a little bit of sweet revenge here for the master. Get to come in here and take on the guy that's beat up all of his guys.
I'll tell you what, Jeremy looks a lot better than he did 24 hours ago at the weigh-ins, man. I don't know how he sucked down to 185. He was a skeleton of a man. He's probably put on 15, 20 pounds since then.
Oh, without a doubt, Mike. And, well, this is it. This is classical Jeremy Horn style right here. Get you to the ground, get you in my corner, and I'm going to work these elbows. I'm going to pound you out.
Well, gosh, Court McGee threw that kick right there, and just it seemed like he almost gave that takedown up. There wasn't a whole lot of defense, but this is, as you said, this is vintage Jeremy Horn right here. He's in Court McGee's guard, very busy, got him pressed against the cage, always making you uncomfortable and making big shots like that right there.
Yeah, Mike, and you see the explosion in Jeremy Horn, man. Those things are coming with bad intentions, and if he lands those, this fight could be very well over nice and early.
Nice guard pass here by Jeremy Horn, and really has got Court in a precarious position. He's pressed against the cage upside down, and I'm expecting to see some, as you mentioned, the short elbows that the elite guys have become so famous for, just some jackhammer punches. Jeremy being very patient here, not forcing anything, but he's really got a good position.
Well, Court's throwing some elbows there too, Mike, and he's landed a couple of them right on the side of Jeremy Horn's face, but that doesn't phase Jeremy. He's going to continue to get into a position where he can lay some punishment down on the crusher.
Yeah, I think Jeremy's strategy, it looks to me, is just kind of let the crusher wear himself out a little bit underneath there and go to work. But, I really am impressed with the fact Jeremy's not coming out here trying to end this thing early, not trying to, make a statement or anything like that. He's just doing bread and butter, mixed martial arts. But that comes with experience, and he's got over 100 fights, Johnny. And
that's what I was just going to get to is how nervous could you not be? I mean, Court McGee, you'd have to be just a wreck going in there fighting a guy like this who has so many fights. I mean, Jeremy Horn's fought the toughest guys on the planet.
Well, and
how do you've got to be just a nervous wreck, I think.
And he's seen and experienced just about anything you could throw at him. It's not like,
a doubt.
Yes, there is only one Court McGee, but, is Court going to bring something to the cage tonight that Jeremy hasn't seen before? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, Mike, and I think to win, you might just have to do that. You might have to pull a trick out of your hat. But Court McGee, as far as fighting for us is concerned, the guy just gets in there and he just attacks and he defeats his opponents.
Well, those who have been training with Court McGee says yes, he does have a few tricks up his sleeve, and yes, he does have a few things that they feel that perhaps Jeremy Horn hasn't seen before, because Court is so strong. He's one of the strongest guys I've ever seen. I mean, just physically stronger than your average Joe, and so maybe he can put something together, coupling that strength with something that maybe Jeremy's not completely familiar with.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the case, Mike, but I don't know. I mean, like we said, because Jeremy has fought the toughest in the world, can he get past that? And possibly.
So far, no.
McGee's going to make, so far, no. But Court McGee's not going to make it easy for him. He's going to make things difficult, and he's going to try to, do the things to him that count, and that's throw punches and land big shots, and he's trying to do that even from the bottom here, Mike.
Now, the slight on Jeremy Horn has always been he's not the most exciting fighter to watch, but that excitement doesn't always win fights. I think Jeremy, his motive here is not to turn everybody on, but to win a fight. And I think the fact he's shown a lot of respect to Court McGee so far. He's not really done as I mentioned earlier, tried to go out and finish this thing early, just trying to kind of go about his business and finish it when he feels like it.
Well, he's not super flashy, Mike, but I tell you what, he ends a lot of the fights with submissions, and to me, sometimes that is the flash of MMA when you see a guy, just also throw some slick move on. Oh, just like that, he looked like he's maybe trying to jump up and get, Court in a guillotine or something.
Yeah, well, he tried it, and Court, as I mentioned, he's super strong. There's no doubt about it, and it wasn't going to be anything easy that Jeremy was going to be able to pop up and get. But you always sense that Jeremy's got, one move ahead of the move he's doing. You see him throwing some nice, sharp elbows from underneath there.
Yeah, Mike, and he landed one right there that split Court open. Now, how does this change things for Court? Now he's taking a big shot from Jeremy. And does he just give it up, or does he just fight through it?
Was that elbow as precision as you've ever seen, or what? Boy, he just reached
like
up
surgeon.
And sliced him open. That was beautiful.
Well, Mike, that's what he's trying to teach over there at his gym. But he landed that shot, and it cut him for sure.
Razor-like, no doubt about it. And you see a lot of blood coming out from the eye of Court McGee. Here, and boy, this is something now you got to start looking at. Are they going to stop it? Court McGee throwing a big shot here, though.
Yeah, I thought maybe this would stop it and end it from Court, but no, man, Court's going to continue to rock and roll. And he's stood up, threw a couple punches, tried that little axe kick right there, and it didn't land, and now he's back on top. Wow.
Back on top and landing a shot of his own, but Jeremy throwing another elbow from underneath, and a nice, just about swept him there. Not quite. Round's going to end, though, and boy, another big elbow just to finish things off here in the first round. We got to see see what Court McGee's corner can do with those cuts. Man, that should be interesting to see.
Yeah, just for the people at home that are watching, head wounds do bleed a lot. I guarantee Court's going to be fine. It's probably just a little bit of a gash, and they're going to get that thing taken care of, I hope.
Precision elbows landed by Jeremy Horn. Boy, they just cut Court McGee open, and they're in just a great spot right over the eye, too. That's textbook, Johnny Ritchie. That was just textbook.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's great to see Jeremy Horn in here, Mike, doing this and fighting. But I'm telling you, this is great for Court McGee. It's great for us. It's great for the sport. And Court McGee is so excited and so pumped up to be in here and get to trade leather with one of his legends, one of his favorite fighters.
Dr. Mark Cacciamani took a good look at those cuts, and he says we're good to go. It looks like they got the bleeding stopped at least temporarily. Now this is where Court McGee is going to have to use that physicality that he's so famous for to try to overcome not only the experience of Jeremy Horn, but now he's got to overcome the cut and the bleeding.
Yeah, and then a nice takedown from Court McGee you saw there.
Nice little sweep. He just kind of swept the foot out from underneath Jeremy Horn, and now he's got to go to work. He's got to return the favor. Do not leave yourself exposed for more of those elbows.
Yeah, we want to mention that those elbows were from the bottom. I mean, he landed those things and split him open from the bottom, and so, there wasn't a ton of power, but precision, like you said, like a surgeon, split him open.
No doubt about it. You see the blood coming down once again, and this is one of the bloodier fights we've had in a little while, folks. And for those of you at home, Johnny Ritchie mentioned just a moment ago, head wounds do bleed a lot. So, I mean, there's not a real serious injury here. It's a tactical maneuver on Jeremy Horn's part that you can end a fight by cutting somebody open because the blood gets in the eye and you can't see, and if you can't see, you certainly can't fight.
Well, it's kind of crazy, Mike. You see him grab Court McGee's wrist, and then that's when those elbows come. It looks like he's going to maybe try to isolate an arm or something, and then that elbow comes over the top, and he's landed 5 or 6 of them on Court.
And Court's thinking about defending a submission, and then when he does that, he gets sliced open with a nice elbow.
Well, then there's Jeremy on his back going, hey, are you going to get us up, or what's going on there?
Well, Jeremy Horn actually, if you remember when he fought Chuck Liddell, that was kind of his tactic. Tried to bait Chuck Liddell into going down on the ground with him, and Chucky said, I don't think so, buddy.
No, I think it's time to stand up.
Yeah.
And that's what happens right there. But Jeremy Horn doing a nice job of using that fence and getting the takedown on Court McGee. It was slick.
That was a very nice takedown, and as we mentioned, though, Jeremy very slow moving on top, man. It was almost like when he was on bottom, he was more exciting to watch because the elbows were just so precision. Boy, it was fun to watch.
How did Jeremy get blood all the way up on his back? Well, how'd that happen?
That's
what
when you hit a guy real hard.
Went off of the mat and onto his back there. Weird.
Little short action inside here. Both these guys just kind of now just jockeying a little bit on the inside. Not a whole lot of exciting action, but again, I think Jeremy just kind of looking for Court to do something. And Court's it seems like he's fighting almost too defensively. He's not willing to leave anything for Jeremy to submit him on or leave any mistakes open there, but he's got to do something to win this fight.
That's what I mean, Mike. When you're going up against a guy of the caliber of Jeremy Horn, do you just throw it out the window? Do you just do whatever? Do you try to stick to that game plan and maybe fighting defensively? Or do you really try to...
You got to try to win. I mean, you can't sit here and try to stall out a loss. There's no doubt about it. Great exchange here by both men, though. Both guys landing a couple of shots inside there, and Jeremy Horn winding up on his back. I'm not so sure it was a takedown. He just kind of, they were in a little bit of a scramble and wound up on his back there.
Well, yeah, Court's better be careful because here come those elbows.
Here come those elbows, and you see the guard open up. He's looking for an arm lock or something. You see he's looking at a beautiful elbow right across the top of Court McGee's head, and I think that might have cut him open as well.
I think it did. I think you're right. Wow, this is bad news. But I tell you what, for Jeremy Horn being a guy that likes to submit and will when guys go to the ground with him, Court McGee's doing an awesome job of staying away from that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Jeremy Horn is having his way with those elbows, and Court McGee's staying away from submissions, but he's being sliced open and being dropped with a kick. There was a beautiful job by Jeremy Horn.
Man, oh man, this guy is the teacher, isn't he, Mike? Stepping in there and landing that kick and drop Court right to his butt. And you talked about it, Court is split open again. That's a different cut than we saw before.
He's got good composure, does Court McGee, but again, I'm not seeing enough out of him offensively. Doing a good job of countering things that Jeremy Horn's doing, but not doing a whole lot of making Jeremy counter anything that he's doing.
Well, Mike, don't leave this open for a shoulder choke. This is how Jeremy beat Chuck Liddell the first time they fought and threw that shoulder choke on and put him to sleep. So be careful, Court. Watch what you're doing here, brother.
Court's a pretty strong kid, and I think he's aware of it. He's familiar with it, if nothing else. I mean, in fact, I believe Ben Fuamano almost shoulder choked him one time, and maybe he learned his lesson from that one.
Yeah, maybe he did. But needless to say, these guys not a whole lot going on right now.
Well, maybe it was he choked.
You're right. Yeah, he was choking.
Backwards.
Yeah, he actually had the choke on Fuamano, and
boy, what a bloody mess is Court McGee, and so is now Jeremy Horn down there in what is really a bloodbath going on here. It's all over the mat. It's all over both fighters' body, and now this is the position that Jeremy Horn has been after all fight.
Yeah, bad news here for Court McGee, but maybe not.
Good news is not much time left on the clock, and we're definitely going to see a third round, but the professor here, the teacher, is definitely giving the student a lesson here in what MMA is all about tonight.
And you see him look down at Court. It looked like he was going to grow horns out of the top of his head. Man, that was an evil, evil look from Jeremy Horn.
Well, Jeremy's not happy about all that blood being spilt on him. Jeremy Horn is as focused as I've ever seen him, and Jeremy Horn's going to be back for round 3 when we... Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. If you're just joining us, Johnny Ritchie, the legend, Jeremy Horn, fighting Court McGee and really putting on a clinic here. He's clearly won rounds 1 and 2 and has got Court McGee cut wide open in several spots here, throwing some vicious elbows. And Court McGee now doing what he should be doing in all fight is trying to keep this thing on his feet and throwing some combinations up top.
Yeah, throwing some combinations, Mike is right. But it seems like every time they get in this position, either Court would get Jeremy to the ground or Jeremy would take Court to the ground, and then that's where the fight would end, with just Jeremy in a nice position throwing elbows.
Yeah, too much of a defensive battle, in my opinion, being fought here by Court McGee, and this is really where Court was said to be better than Jeremy was in his wrestling, and Jeremy just very systematically got inside, got underhooks, lowered his hips, got the takedown, and is now out wrestling the wrestler.
Well, Mike, and I'm just wondering once again if it's because of the fact that he gave Jeremy too much respect. You know, you respect a guy too much, and maybe your game plan's faltered. You're not going in there looking to hurt someone and looking to really devastate your opponent, as he did with guys that he's fought this past round.
I don't think it's so much that as that Jeremy, he's fighting here in front of his hometown. He's fighting here kind of representing his team and as part of the team. They've all been fighting all night long, and I have never seen Jeremy Horn so focused as I did when he walked into the cage tonight. I just think he came here to play ball, and I'm not so sure so much what Court's doing is just the Jeremy putting on a clinic and really showing his best stuff tonight.
Yeah, Mike, well, needless to say, it's been a hell of a war for both these guys. Court has landed some shots on Jeremy, but definitely Court McGee has taken the brunt of most of the punishment that's been doled out tonight. He's got a couple cuts on top of his head, and looking to keep it that way, just at those two.
Court's still hanging onto the head here. I see no purpose in that. I don't know why he's doing that. Again, it's just a matter of time. Jeremy's just going to kind of let him sit there and squeeze as long as he wants to, and looking to get full mount position here. But it's just a defensive attack here by Court McGee. Nothing offensive going on.
Oh no, that's what you said. Why is he doing it? Well, because he doesn't want Jeremy to set up and land any more of those damn elbows on top of him. So he's going to try to keep him as close as he possibly can.
Well, that's a fair.
It's only a matter of time.
That's a fair statement. I mean, I get that, but at the same time, when somebody elbows you kind of want to elbow him back, and that's and really, I know Court McGee wanted to win this fight so badly, but I'm just not seeing him do here tonight what I think he envisioned in his mind and doing anything offensively.
Talking about out wrestling wrestler, looked like he had Court McGee in a cradle there, but Court McGee now pops up to his feet. Is this thing going to stay here or is it going to go back to the ground? Mike, what do you think?
My guess is it's going back to the ground.
I think you're right. Good guess, Mike. Good guess.
Jeremy, again, out wrestling the wrestler. Got a nice single leg takedown, just taking him down. And again, Jeremy has nothing to prove here in round number 3. He's clearly winning this fight, and I think he can just kind of stall out a win if he wants to. He's gonna, Court McGee has to do something there. Now Court throwing some elbows, trying to return the favor, not using the point of his elbow though, using his forearm, and he's not going to get the same result.
No, he landed 2 of them, Mike. Yeah, but maybe give Jeremy a lump, but he didn't split him open. And yeah, you're right. I mean, Jeremy doesn't really have to do a whole lot, Mike, and he's he's really not from this position. He's just kind of on top of him and throwing a couple shots here and there. He knows he's won this thing.
Yeah, he's going to walk away with a win tonight, barring anything crazy happening here in the third round. And from what I'm seeing, Court, his conditioning was said to be very, very good as well. But this has been one of those hard-fought battles that, I don't know what kind of conditioning is going to help you win this thing at this point.
Yeah, Michael, I don't know either. And you're right about about Court working his butt off to be in shape for this thing. But once again, I don't know. Is Jeremy just this good? Is that the question? Yeah, right. That's got to be the answer.
I think he is.
He's got to be just this good.
I just think he's shown that he's a level above where Court's at this time. And that's not to say that Court can't get at this level at one time. I mean, he's on his way up the charts. Jeremy's on his way down the charts. I'm not saying that Jeremy's on his way down, but he's at the twilight of his career, and Court's got a bright future ahead of him.
Oh, yeah, Mike, he does. Court is a guy, Mike, that's only been involved in this sport for this year, this past year, and to go up and fight a guy like Jeremy Horn, that says a lot. That's saying a lot about who you are and where your talent level and where you're going.
To say it says a lot is kind of an understatement. It's remarkable, no doubt about it. And who knows? Let's see these guys fighting in another 12 months and see where they're at.
Yeah. Oh, nice shot by Jeremy. Gave Court a little pop on the side of the face.
Nice little pop, and then shot in, and doing again what he's done all night is just get in tight, control the hips, and take him down. And then punch him and hit him and elbow him. 10 seconds left in this fight. Court McGee's going to get away with feeling good about going the distance against Jeremy Horn. But to me, moral victories are nothing in MMA. You came out here, you did fight, you represented yourself well. But Jeremy Horn showing why he's Jeremy Horn. Big win for him tonight. And I think it's meant a lot to him to do this in front of his hometown crowd.
Oh, without a doubt, Mike, in front of his hometown crowd, in front of his gym, in front of his students, his friends and family. Did a great job. Congratulations, Jeremy Horn. But congratulations also to you, Court McGee. Man, oh man, you're one tough kid and your future's bright, brother.
Congratulations to the UCE bringing a big fight like this to the fore. Let's listen to what the judges had to say about it. Well, unanimous decision, clearly 30-27. Jeremy Horn winning all 3 rounds on all 3 judges' scorecards. No surprise there. Jeremy Horn with the raise of the hand, showing a lot of emotion there about this win.
Well, that's just classic Jeremy Horn. Congratulations, buddy. Hopefully we'll get to see you soon if it's not cornered, maybe fighting. Who knows?
Who knows? Great job, Jeremy.
This post-fight interview is brought to you by Hollywood Body Laser Centers, the best in laser hair removal. Give them a call for a free consultation, 563-1177.
Jeremy Horn, you definitely showed who the teacher is versus the pupil, man. All the little technical things you did tonight, that's what Jeremy Horn does. Very impressive.
Thank you very much.
Jeremy, again, I cannot thank you enough for being a part of the Ultimate Combat experience. You've been here, you've been cornering people, you've been such a big part of the show, but now you finally fought in the cage here. I really, man, it means so much to me to have you in here.
Thank you. It was actually really fun for me too to get to jump in on a fight where all my troops are fighting, get to jump in and fight right beside him. That meant a lot to me.
Yeah, how cool was that? The whole team was there. The whole team was supporting each other. It had to have been pretty special for them, I know. It had to be special for you being daddy, kind of getting in there and doing it with them.
Absolutely. It's a bigger thrill for me to watch them fight and win than it is for me to fight, but I still love fighting.
I know you do, brother. I know you do. And really, I know how much it meant to them to get in here and be on the same card as you and go through that whole pre-fight everything with you. So much love for your team. They really represented tonight well. They did awesome. Obviously won most of the fights tonight. Very impressive. Great job, Jeremy. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank and congratulate all of my team that fought here tonight. And I'd like to invite everybody to, we're doing an after fight party at Lumpy's, not to compete with your fight, but I'd like to have everybody come over to Lumpy's, everybody that's not going to yours.
Are you going to have this at your party?
We might. We're going to have a few people doing the robot. Maybe some crazy stuff going on. But yeah, everybody's welcome. I'd love to have everybody over there.
Very nice. And for the last 10 years, Jeremy Horn has been paid to hurt people, and tonight he did just that. Great job, Jeremy. Thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
That was incredible. I'm kind of in awe of what just happened. I'm awestruck from just what just took place.
Yeah, Mike, a little bit of everything tonight on the card, some knockouts, some 3-round wars. You see, my hat's off to Court McGee. What a complete stallion. To hang with Jeremy Horn for 3 rounds says something. Not a lot of people can say they've done that. Court did it. My hat's off to you, brother. Don't hang your head. You fought like a champion tonight against the best in the world.
Speaking of champions, we crowned many of them tonight, and Johnny, it was just an incredible, first of all, the round itself was incredible. I mean, this is the culmination of several weeks of just great fights. this. And I just want to say thank you so much to all the fighters and everybody who made it possible. There were so many people that worked so hard to make this show happen, man. Thank you all so much. Johnny Ritchie is the Ultimate Combat Experience. Guess what? Next week, we're right back at it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.